card for the video today, and we're going to do a little bit of water marbling too. I'm going to be using just a single die in today's card. It's the Hugs die from our Perspective range, and I want to show you all the different things you can do with this die. So first of all, what I've done is I've just put a little bit of water into a container. We're going to be using some alcohol inks. Did you know that you can float them on water? So I've picked out Sunshine Yellow, Clover, and Wild Plum. So I'm just going to give a few drops, and they'll sort of disperse a little bit when they hit the water. And we'll use the Clover. And bring in the Sunshine Yellow. Just kind of put a few more extra ones of these around. Now ordinarily, when you're using alcohol inks, you want to use gloss card. And I have brought a little piece of gloss card, but for this technique, I think regular card works better. You're going to go ahead and pop this into your water. Now I like to do a bigger piece than I need, and then it can dry and I can use it for later. So I'm just going to pop that into the water. And you can see you get beautiful designs on both sides. Isn't that lovely? Now we'll set this aside to dry, because that has to dry, but I did want to show you what it looks like on the gloss. You get a lighter effect with the gloss. So I'm going to do a few more. You can use the same water again. And the yellow. And we'll pop that down. It's a little bit paler, and that will actually dry softer than the other one will. So if you prefer a pastel, more pastel color, then the gloss card is the way to go. So pop that down, and let me just move this out of the way. And you can use your water over and over again for quite a while, just adding a few more drops to it. But I've done a few pieces here just to show you what they look like. And you can choose either side. There's usually one that's a little bit brighter and darker than the other. But I've decided to use this little one here for our project. You have to make sure it's perfectly dry once you go on, because I'm going to use it with a piece of self-adhesive sticky sheet. So if it were damp, it wouldn't stick to that very well. Let me just tidy up. I've got a bit of water here. There we go. So I'm going to go ahead and peel this off. Place that over the piece I've selected. Okay, and we are going to use one of the frames from our Hugs to cut this. And I'm using the larger of the two frames. So just pop a little piece of tape on there. Tape it on. And run that through. There we go. Okay, so now I've got a die cut piece that's got the sticky already on it for us. I'm going to come back to that in a second. But the next thing I want to do is cut a double frame. So I've got both of the outer cutting edges to the Hugs die, and I've done two so that you can do a small frame. And what I've decided to do is put two pieces of white card together with a little bit of tape, just slightly larger than our frames. And we are going to tape these into place. A little bit of tape there, a little bit of tape here. And the reason I'm doing two of them is so I can cut them exactly the same and stack them up. And it should cut through two just fine. Let me just make sure it's nice and centered here. Bring this back over. And I'm going to tilt it a little bit of an angle. That way you get a small part of the die going through first. So it makes it a little easier to turn. There we go. Pop all that apart. Take my tape off. And take my two frames out. There's one. And that one's still attached a little bit. There we go. There's two. Whoops. Be sure and take all your dies off, put them back onto your thing, and we can glue these two together to create a perfect frame for our outside. Now I have two that I've already done and glued together, So I'm going to bring them back over. And I'm going to go back to the piece that I put the sticky on and place the frames around the edge using that sticky to adhere it. Okay, set that down. Okay, so just try and line that up very easily. Drop that into place. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to microbead that. Because it would be difficult to add that frame on top of the microbeads, if I do it this way, the microbeads will stick to the sticky, but the frame is actually not underneath those microbeads. So I'm just going to pop them into some microbeads. So we've got our beautiful marbled piece of card. And now it's beaded for a little bit of texture. Okay, so the next step I want to do is I'm going to add my hugs to this. So I've already done 3 of just the solid hugs, the positive version, and I'm going to put a little glue on the back, and I'm going to let it set up a little bit while we move on, just so that it sticks nicely to those microbeads. So I'm going to bring back my Cosmic Shimmer glue here, put it all over the back of the letters, just get it nice and covered. Because anytime you have glitter or anything that's dimensional, you're going to have a harder time sticking to it. So you want to make sure that you have a nice application of your glue on there. Okay, so give that a few seconds. So in the meantime, I'm going to cut the top hugs. Now, bring that one back. I'm just going to use the actual hugs. And this is a great die because it gives you a perfect positive and a negative cutout. So I'm going to pop that right into place, tape it. And let's add another piece. There we go. Run that through. Bring it back to us. Okay. Take my tape off. And I'm going to be using the positive version of the hugs for this. Undo it. There we go. But as you can see, you have a perfect positive and negative. There's no fall away at all to that die. Okay, one of the other things that this set has been designed to do is there's little plaques that you can use with it. And I've decided to use the Hugs and Kisses, which is just a little bar. They've been designed so you can put them inside the straight parts of the word. So I'm just going to make sure that we have this going the right direction. You definitely need to tape these. And I'm going to just line this up. Just take me a second to get it lined up nice and straight. Double check it here and here. And one of the things that's quite nice about these clear plates is you can turn it over and see whether you have kind of centered it nicely. The edge of the die should just barely peek over the edge of the letter there. That looks pretty good. Pop that down. And we'll cut that out. And let's undo our tape. There we go. Bring that up. And this will take the negative word out of the lettering. So you can see we've got a nice "and kisses" that's been taken out of the H there, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and pop this down onto the micro-beaded piece that we did. That should be enough time to get that to hold nicely. There we go. And I'm going to add a little bit more glue to this one. I'm going to put it on top. So what you'll see is a white on white where I've cut out the word, but it will definitely show. It'll be very pretty, very subtle. Pop these down and put a little bit of glue right around there. There we go. Put that right over the top of the other ones I've done. They've been raised for dimension. Get that nice and straight. And the glue gives you a chance to kind of move it around and get it placed exactly where you want it. So here's the focal element for our card now. Isn't that pretty? Just love the way that looks. So I'm going to go ahead and put that onto our card, and we'll give you a measurement here. So you could do this card in any size that you like, but I've actually done the center background piece is 6 1/4 by 5.5. And I just thought it'd be nice to have a little bit of white space on the card. I think that's really pretty sometimes. I'm gonna pop that down, put a little bit of mounting foam on the back, trim it off. That'll keep it nice and flat. And pop that into the bottom of our card. And I think that just says it all like that. There you go. You could certainly add a swirl to that if you like, or even some flowers to dress it up if you want. But I just thought I'd show you a really pretty, clean and simple card for today's video.